Fritts.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee members, for allowing me the opportunity to testify before you today. My name is David Fritts. I represent myself, and I stand before you in support of House Bill 1419. I'm here to testify about government efficiency, effectiveness, and a cost-effective tool that law enforcement needs and deserves to efficiently, effectively, and cost-effectively manage a cross-jurisdictional issue. This tool is House Bill 1419. A lot of you may be unaware of this cross-jurisdictional issue, as I was unaware until I was forced to become aware by the missing of my son and later the ultimate identification and notification of his remains 2 years later. But Joseph's story is not just about the unnecessary anguish and torture families are put through unnecessarily for years searching for loved ones. This is also about government waste and inefficiency. We can do better and will do better in a more efficient, more effective, and cost-efficient manner. Simply put, House Bill 1419 manages this cross-jurisdictional issue, but combining all the data from 2,700 law enforcement agencies, justice of the peace agencies, and medical examiners, and combines them into one central database, presently existing and provided by NAMUS, which is fully funded by the federal government and administered here in Texas on a nationwide basis by North Texas Health and Science Center, creating jobs, good-paying jobs, and economic development for the North Texas region. Through this efficient, effective tool, though this effective, efficient tool is presently being underutilized by law enforcement, it is being fully utilized by other states with similar legislation to House Bill 1419. 10 other states have enacted such legislation and presently being administered by NAMUS, and again, fully funded by the federal government and executed by North Texas Health and Science Center in North Texas. Again, creating North Texas jobs. But one may ask, why do we need more government, more legislation, more laws? Why does House Bill need to be enacted? Well, without the full participation of law enforcement and medical examiners, the NAMUS program simply doesn't work. In order for this empowering tool, law enforcement needs and deserves full participation must occur. Imagine being a law enforcement officer and only having part of the data from these 2,700 jurisdictions. Well, what about the costs? What is the enactment of this legislation really going to cost? What are the real costs involved here? There has to be some costs, right? In fact, the real costs are not enacting this legislation to continue on a status quo in an inefficient, ineffective, not a cost-effective method currently being used. I am unfortunately well acquainted with the cost, which is substantial, not having such a bill in place. My son, Joseph Bradley Fritts, went missing, and almost after 2 years later, his remains were identified through the NAMUS DNA program, which I'm truly grateful for. By searching for my son for almost 2 years, I came to realize the real cost of law enforcement, medical examiners not fully utilizing this existing resource, NAMUS, and not having this empowering tool to efficiently, effectively, and cost-effectively do their job. In my son's case alone, a minimum of 17 government agencies involved as a result of a medical examiner not fully utilizing NAMUS, not entering a small amount of data that would take minutes into the NAMUS database. As a result, hundreds of hours of inefficient government time wasted and dollars. For example, law enforcement, in my son's case, there is at least 4 law enforcement agencies involved. Judges in courtrooms, at least 4 hearings with court's times, judges' times, and other government agencies and employees' time, such as and nonprofits, Crime Stoppers, Texas for the City, Border Patrol, etc. Time and money wasted in an inefficient, ineffective, non-efficient system by not utilizing an existing resource, efficient and cost-effective, provided by the federal government and fully funded by the federal government.
And with Representative Hull's bill, she brings us into this system, and it's efficient. She brings us into
Exactly, into names.
Okay, in the name. So we're going to get this moving. Okay, we're going to get this moving. Okay, and your point is efficiency, effectiveness, and getting stuff solved.
Yeah, I mean, and cost effective too.
It is. Okay.
And it also, I mean, it's going to free up a lot of the police. A lot of these officers have, large burdens with large caseloads, and they need to be able to do their job in the most efficient manner they can.
And the sheriffs have come, and they're on board with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
The problem with NamUs as it stands right now is it's not being fully utilized.
Okay.
And you can imagine a database with 10% of the data in there, or whatever the number is. It just won't work. Everybody has to participate in order for the system to work.
And that's the purpose of Ms. Hull's bill.
Correct.
Let me see. Do the members, you have any other questions for Mr. Fritts? We're with you, bro. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your time.
All right. Is there anyone else that wishes